Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today I wanted to react to the first episode of KANDI the GANG, which is a spinoff show, another spinoff for Kandi Burruss. Yay! That, kind of, like I said in other videos, giving me like the Black Vanderpump Rules type of setup for Bravo, the Bravo TV version of, Welcome to Sweetie Pies. I'm hoping the focus stays on the actual business of Old Lady Gang and doesn't dive into too much other stuff, because then I feel then we're going to have a completely different show. I was a little surprised at all of the issues that Old Lady Gang is having. It really just gave in the premiere episode that Kandi and Todd, have not been at Old Lady Gang in quite some time. And it was very obvious by the way that the employees looked at them like, I haven't seen you in 6 months, was the energy that they were giving. But there's just been so many problems because, as you know, Kandi's restaurants have been in the news, have been in the blogs about failing health inspections, issues with some of the way the food's being cooked and just different things that are happening. But I thought it was at both restaurants. I thought it was both at Old Lady Gang and at Blaze Steakhouse as well, because there was issues at both places. But there's just a lot of issues. It looks as though Kandi wants to remain loyal to employees who have been there the longest. However, the problem with that is you get entitled, your head gets big, and you think that you're too cool for school and you're too good to do certain things. So that's when you start doing things like getting an attitude and showing up late to work and, trying to see how far you can go to cross certain lines and this and that. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot that is happening. Oh my gosh, Shandricka is going to be a mess this season. And it looks like not only is she a mess on the restaurant front as being a hostess, but she is also a mess in her personal life because it looks like she is sleeping with or has slept with in the past Kandi's cousin, I'm thinking or guessing, Patrick. And it's just all a mess, you guys. It is all an absolute mess. I do think the show is entertaining for what it's going to be, but I will say that there's a lot happening. And Kandi, I don't know what happens, but she always trusts the wrong people. It never fails. And just because somebody has been around you for several years doesn't mean that after some time, some changes need to be enforced if they're no longer, playing by the rules and doing the things that you shouldn't even have to question them doing. So there's that. But Kandi and Todd, they have way too much other stuff going on with these other businesses to devote full time to Old Lady Gang. And so Don Juan, who's supposed to be kind of in charge of other things that Kandi is going on, seems to be also like another manager as well, like overseeing what's happening at the restaurants. And there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of unprofessionalism. There's a lot of attitude because a lot of people don't like Shandricka and have wrote specifically in the reviews that they aren't here for her. So there's also been a lot of turnover with certain people that were running Old Lady Gang, like the old general managers and everything else that have been, a lot more, hands-on, have really run a certain type of ship and everything else, and things have just gone to hell in a handbasket. And so now what's happened is Kandi and Todd have hired this gentleman named Phil. And I was like, uh-oh. I'm like, man, this guy is too cute to be into women. I already know. And I just felt a certain type of way. But he got the girls together. He got the staff together. He told them he's taking no mess. Basically implied that this is the first time that he is being a manager of a Black-owned business and wanted to add that to his portfolio, and that he had over 16 years of experience. And basically is going to come in, is going to right the ship, is going to come in and tell these people that we're not going to be doing all of this. And so right off the bat, when they introduce him to the staff, Shandricka's got an attitude. She's like, I don't like him and this and that, because here's the thing. The only reason you're not going to like somebody that's going to bring structure to an organization is because you're not going to get away with the same nonsense that you were doing in the past. That's the only reason that you have to prematurely already say you don't like like somebody before even getting a chance to know them, and literally you just met them 10 minutes ago. So Don Juan seems very close to Shandricka and wanted to pull her aside and wanted to have a conversation and discuss, you know, why she has an attitude, why she's pressed over Phillip, and they literally just met. And so she's like, well, I don't like nobody telling me what to do, and I'm still going to do me, and blah, blah, blah. I'm the host. And so then Don Juan brings in Phillip, and then it just goes left because she's telling him he's not going to tell her what to do, and he's telling her, you're going to listen or you can go. And that was that. And so then what happened is, you know, Shandricka went to go complain to her friend Dominique. However, it was still in the earshot of Phillip and the other employees. And so Phil felt that that was unprofessional. And he was like, you're really just going to come for me right here while I'm standing here? And he was like, you can go home for the day. And so then Shandricka was pissed. She was upset. But it's like, and Phillip basically said, listen, I'm not about to be arguing with an hourly employee. I don't got time for that. And that was hilarious. And I felt him on that because I'm like, really, Shandricka, you're doing all of this and you're simply a host of a restaurant. Like, let's get it together. Like, it is not that serious. Like, you are up here acting like you are running, you know, a billion-dollar corporation that is, you know, very professional, very corporate and everything else. And you were completely missing all of the marks. But it is just a hot mess. And, so we'll see how this proceeds. We will see if Shandricka lasts the season as an employee and still lasts as the host. But it's just not looking good. But the one thing I will agree with Todrick on is he sees the issues and he sees that, you know, there's an issue as far as keeping somebody like Shandricka, and there's been so many complaints. And so then we meet Dominique, who is the bartender, but I guess she's also been a backup dancer for celebrities, including Megan Thee Stallion. And so basically, whenever certain artists are going on tour and she auditions and she makes the cut, she leaves OLG and then, you know, goes on tour with said artists and then comes back and works again as a bartender. So she loves the flexibility. However, essentially, Todd and Kandi basically said that her focus isn't primarily on OLG, it's primarily on her dancing career. And at first, the way that they presented the dancing, I thought that she was an exotic dancer, the way that they were talking, but it sounds like she's just, you know, like a dancer that, you know, does backup dancing for certain celebrities and things of that nature. And so then we meet Brandon, and Brandon is very interesting because he and Dominique have like this, you know, flirtmance thing going on that obviously is going to lead to them hooking up at some point because there's too much sexual tension between them and they're always flirting. And anytime somebody's talking to Brandon, he's like staring at Dominique's ass and, excuse my language, and just not paying attention to anything. So he wants to smash. And then he says later in the episode that basically he, you know, originally came to OLG as a customer, but basically applied to work at OLG because Dominique was there. So it was just all a mess. You know, and there's a rule in place that Kandi allegedly has at her restaurants to not be fraternizing with your colleagues and everything else, but I don't know. I just do not know. And so then Kandi wanted to have conversations with OLG, with Mama Joyce, with Aunt Bertha, with Aunt Nora, off-site, you know, to get their individual opinions as well as get their, you know, opinions as a group on what they like and what they dislike about the employees and everything else. And it is just hilarious because Aunt Nora up here telling people to their face that she's going to throw them over the fence. I was cracking up because she is classic, like your older aunties, your older grandmas who do not play. Everybody has it in their family, that relative or two that is not going to play, is not going to take no mess, and is going to say whatever is on their mind no matter what. Also, there's just an issue with time. Like, these people are waiting outside around the corner, and the times that they're supposed to be open, they're still not ready. And I just don't understand. I'm like, even if you have a staff meeting, like, why are you guys so late still opening? And these people are coming in from all over, because sometimes for certain people, it might be something that's on their, you know, touristy activity to do while they're visiting Atlanta to check out OLG. And then I just have questions about where OLG is located, because there's so many issues with the power going out all the time, and, you know, them saying this is normal, and Todd being too cheap to purchase a generator, like, and then being too cheap to have iPads to do a more efficient check-in process, not having, you know, the little swipes like that you can put on like your iPad or your cell phone, or have like an iPad to swipe credit cards or whatever else, to just make things a little bit more like tech savvy, make business and customer service go a little bit faster. Like, it just feels like there's little investments they can do. An iPad doesn't even cost that much. An iPad, especially like the generation ones that come out every year. I'm not talking about the iPad Airs even, or the ones that, you know, have like all the extra retina displays and all this other stuff that costs like $2,000. I'm talking about the iPads that cost like $299 every year around November, the newest edition. It's too easy to just have an iPad in place, number one, so you can manage where everybody is at, that is waiting, and then that way you can turn over tables quicker, as well as have a quicker process to pay. Like, it's just too much. And so what ended up happening was KANDI had brought over her, you know, manager, whoever, hostess that works at Blaze. And he's like suit and tie. He's like dappered up. Everything's tailored to basically be glued to his body, essentially. And, you know, KANDI basically asked him if he could help out a few days and essentially get things in order. Basically shows Shandricka the ropes. However, it still was a hot mess, you guys. It still was a hot mess. And I think he already felt a certain way because, you know, he made the comment that he's not making as much when he works at OLG compared to when he's at Blaze. So he already feels a certain way there. But he was pissed because he felt, you know, that Shandricka was telling random people to, you know, go upstairs and where the bar is and wait. And then you didn't know who was who. You didn't know who were the actual customers that were there to eat and waiting to order, versus the people that were just told upstairs to wait to go to the bar to get something to drink. And, you know, then they would be called to come back downstairs towards a table. So it just seems very unorganized, and it seems very hard to keep track of all these people. And I don't understand why there's not a process like, hey, you can't come inside until, you know, your table's ready, or something along those lines. Like, because why have other people that might be behind you? Because I'm thinking of this as a customer. If I have people behind me that are able to go inside and have drinks and everything else, but say I don't drink, or say I'm not allowed to go inside and I still have to stand out here in this heat in Atlanta, I'm going to have an issue. Or I might just go and leave the restaurant altogether, because this is not an organized, you know, level of customer service. They need to have a overflow room, to where it's not a part of the dining area upstairs or downstairs, but a strict overflow room for customers. That way, when it's time for, you know, their table to be called, they can either get a buzzer like they do at Texas Roadhouse, or not Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, Texas Roadhouse. You can get a little buzzer, and then that lets you know that your table is ready and for you to be seated. Or get a text message. So many restaurants do this now, where you can get a text message received when your table is ready, so that you and your party can then get seated. But I just don't understand why these little changes are so, like, they're so minimal that you can do, that are going to have a big impact long term of really improving your business practices. And I just have no idea why it's not in place. Also, I'm probably the first person to say this, because I haven't seen this anywhere on social media, but does Shandricka look like to you guys? She kind of favors Portia in certain scenes and in certain wigs she has, because I looked at her and I looked at one of the wigs she had on, and I was like, this looks like Portia. I was like, she kind of looks like Portia a little bit, like with this wig. She looks like Portia a little bit in terms of her boobs and like her build and everything else. Her boobs, her butt, like everything was kind of just giving me Portia a little bit. And just with all of the history of Kandi, Todd, and Portia, it was very interesting to me to see Shandricka being there. So I don't know. I think it's more to the story with Shandricka as to why they're keeping her for so long, because it just makes no sense at all. But hopefully they can get some things together. The guy that's the host at Blaze, he was shading the workers at OLG, basically saying they're jeans on jeans, they're not professional, it's ghetto. And even Shandricka was saying it was ghetto because, dude was like, where's your iPad? Like, why isn't any of this efficient? She's like, this is in the hood. Like, we don't have time for this. So I don't know if that's intentional. Also, I thought that there was more than one OLG location. I thought there was another one on a different side of town, as well as they had OLG inside the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm wondering if that will, be discussed as well, and if eventually the spinoff will also branch into the other OLG locations like Welcome to Sweetie Pies did, as well as other restaurants Kandi has, like Blaze Steakhouse, similar to Vanderpump Rules, how she has, all of the different bars and restaurants that she runs under that umbrella. So it's just a lot, but it's just going to be a lot of back and forth between, Shandricka and Phillip. I would say if Phillip is straight, because it's not looking too good that he is, that they need to just, have it out and get rid of their tension and keep it moving. But I don't think Phillip's straight, so that's like a whole nother conversation in itself. Because if he was, I'd be like, man, he is fine and this and that. But no. Unfortunately not. So it's just weird. And who referred him? Who referred Phillip? Is this Don Juan's dude? Like, what is happening? What is going on? That was the first thing that came to my mind. Is this, somebody, a personal recommendation of Don Juan? Either way, Kandi's on board. Kandi likes this man. I saw some people online saying that he was too authoritative. I didn't feel so. I felt he did just enough. And actually, I felt he held back because he actually could have went in a lot more if he really wanted to. But, Shandricka found the right one. And if she wants to stay employed there, then she needs to, take heed of that warning being sent home, his first day there and, getting it together. And so then also, the power goes out and in the middle of while people are there at the restaurant. So obviously the kitchen's black. You can't cook anything in the dark and you can't, do certain things. And so Phillip is trying to tell Shandricka, like, hey, make sure none of these people leave because we know it's going to get hot. We know it's going to get a certain type of way, but we need to make sure that for people who've already ate that we make sure that we get their checks. Like that they get their checks and they pay before they leave so that they don't lose any money. But it's just so unorganized, you guys. Like, I don't know. I hope it improves. I hope things improve because I've personally heard mixed reviews on OLG. I've never been to OLG as of yet. I would like to go at some point. And then I had a question about silverware, even though it's not a big deal, but I'm just confused as far as why they don't have regular silverware. Is this because of the pandemic or is this also another way to save money as well? Because I'm just confused on how you're going to have these nice plates of all this good soul food, but then you have plasticware to eat. It's just not making any sense. So I'm hoping it's just because of COVID and I'm hoping it's not because they were too cheap to purchase actual silverware for people to really get down to business. But that's just things that I'm thinking of in the perspective of somebody who would be running a restaurant and things. You would want actual utensils. So we will see about that. But I don't know. What did you guys think overall of the first episode? There also was this family reunion type of mixer get together, so forth, to where Kandi wanted to have some of her older employees of OLG be there with the new employees, and then her and Todd could kind of talk to some of them to see who they could potentially hire back that they missed, that they felt brought good work ethic. So for instance, Torrin, who does event planning, he showed up. Boy, it ended up being that when he was the manager, he wanted to focus more on event planning, and so that's why he ended up quitting. However, he put on basically the event for them to have this family reunion type type of party where he brought, you know, the different furniture and the setup and the ambiance and the decor. And they also had, you know, a bartender. However, Dominique was shading the bartender because she said that they didn't have any tequila. And so everybody was just getting wasted. And so then it got to a point where Todd basically called off, you know, the alcohol serving because he was like, listen, these people are getting too lit and it's going to go completely left very soon. So we need to halt this and, you know, stop the liquor. And so then somebody else that was there, who said he was wearing a toupee, I forgot his name, but forgive me guys, there's going to be a couple names I'm going to forget or butcher these first couple of episodes until I fully get to know like the staff. So forgive me in advance if I don't say their name or if I don't say their name correctly, because it's the first episode and it's my first time seeing all of these people that were not affiliated, you know, prior to with Kandi or Todd or her family and this and that. So it'll take me hopefully by next episode to have everybody together. But also with that being said, one of her former employees that had a toupee, he comes over to basically, he was also a bartender that everybody liked, everybody's favorite bartender, and very energetic, very engaging with the in public and, you know, providing good customer service. And so he brings over printouts promoting his business because he sells some type of rolls and some other stuff at his restaurant that he's trying to, you know, promote at this party. And it's just hilarious. It is just absolutely hilarious that you show up to your former employer's event trying to, you know, recruit business to yours. And it was funny. But, you know, those are the main things. The episode was kind of like an introductory episode to show you the issues at hand that are currently at OLG, get some feedback, bring in a manager that could right the ship and, you know, see if things can eventually turn around. So more to come on that. I guess we will see. I want to say Kandi's making major money moves. She, also has a hair care line that's out apparently called Kaleidoscope, and it's in all of these stores. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, why can't Kenya's be in, why isn't Kenya more hair care in like all of these other places as well? Like, I don't know. It's just very interesting. Like right out the gate, like I had no idea Kandi, you know, was under Kaleidoscope, that was her business. So, you know, props to her for not only having to, you know, get these spin-offs and make these extra checks for herself, but also have it as an opportunity to promote her other businesses and other ventures that she has going on in these commercials. And furthermore, I also enjoyed the fact that Kandi sang the chorus, sang the lead song for the show, sang the intro song for the show. And it's like, why not? You know, get that money, get that jingle money, get that, you know, theme song money. Like, it's very smart. Like, the one thing I will say about Kandi is I will always respect her hustle in terms of always, you know, finding ways to make money. That is something I'm all about. Like, this is, you know, probably like my 10th source of income, like, to be completely honest and upfront with you guys, because I always have like a million other jobs and a million other things that I am doing, like, first and foremost. So I totally understand Kandi's hustle in terms of making money moves, making, you know, several different streams of income, so that way you're not just relying on one particular job. I can't stress enough how important it is to have multiple streams of income, especially if one does not take off the ground yet, or one is not making as much as your main jobs are, to still, you know, nurture some of those other opportunities until it catapults you to the top. So I am totally on board with that. I love the mentality that Kandi has. The issue that she has, though, is some of these people that she hires that are problematic, that are not doing good for her long term in the business world, if it's going to lead to negative reviews. I am glad that Kandi and Todd are aware of what people are saying about the restaurant online, because then that forces them to take action. that forces them to take action to nip it in the bud. However, if you're still going to keep somebody that people keep complaining about in the comments, I'm a little bit concerned, because either you guys need to have some sort of training on professionalism, you need to have some type of, in-service to where everybody is on the same page about proper customer service, about proper management skills, about proper, subordinate and superior relationships in these type of settings, so that things can improve. And that even if you're having a bad day, or even if there's something going on in your personal life, you're not supposed to project that onto the customers. You're not supposed to project that onto the job. And you're still supposed to be able to compartmentalize and be able to still, bring your best self and bring your best service. I mean, this is a hostess position. And I don't understand why Shandricka is making it sound like she's the owner of the company. Like, you are there to simply greet these people, but how are you hiring somebody that's supposed to be a greeter who has an attitude? Like, that's the opposite of what you want in a greeter. So I just have a feeling Shandricka and her mess and her drama is going to dominate this season, and I'm already turned off, you guys, because I'm like, because I feel like deep down she knows how to behave, she knows how to act, but I feel as though she gets this attitude on purpose because she wants that attention, or she wants people to leave her alone as a result. Like, either way, both situations are not good. So there's that. But I think it's a good start to the show. I think this show should do well in the ratings if it focuses mainly on the issues at the restaurant and trying to improve the restaurant. And I think also, like I said, there either should be a spinoff for Blaze, or also discuss what's taking place with the other OLG locations. Like, is the other one shut down because of the health issues, the health rating that came in? Or is it just simply they wanted to focus on the first location for this first season? What is the rationale? Because is the second location doing better? Is the second location in a better neighborhood? Like, what is the plan? So I am curious to see, moving forward, I imagine this is going to get a reunion. I imagine this is going to get, multiple seasons ordered, because, for the most part, everybody likes Kandi. And even if you don't like Kandi, you at least respect her hustle. You respect the fact that she is always going to find ways to make money. And on the spinoff, she understands that her family and her employees and other things are the entertainment. And even like the Escape spinoff show, she understands what is the entertainment, what is going to bring you the drama and have you tune in. So for that, I respect that she understands from a business perspective what people want to see. And Kandi isn't making herself the drama. So that I like, because it gives us an opportunity as the audience, as the viewers, to get to know these other people and her employees and see where the drawbacks are, see where the issues are and everything else. And then it was funny in the throwback because Mama Joyce said that she never gets an attitude or never gets upset with anybody, but they showed this clip that clearly Phaedra was in the clip, but they didn't show her face, which I felt was shade. But also, as well, they had Carmen in the clip, and Mama Joyce, even tonight on Watch What Happens Live, still basically said that she does not see it for Carmen, and that her and Carmen have like present issues, as in 2022 type of issues. So I am curious to find out what that's about, because clearly it may have to involve Kandi in some capacity, right? It has to involve Kandi. It has to involve Kandi and Todd. Like, is she upset about the business venture like that Carmen's doing now? Like, did Kandi, give her some money to invest in that business? Or is there still alleged drama with the rumored threesomes of, Carmen, Todd, and Kandi? Like, we need the tea, Mama Joy, because we know that you like to talk about what's hot in the streets and what's happening in the streets, and we need to know what's up. So please tell us at some point at a later date. We need her on camera. We need Carmen on camera to tell us what's good and what is happening. So that is all the thoughts that I have, though, you guys. Like I said, it's a good start to the show. I think it You know, definitely getting to know the positive and the negative that's going on with OLG is great. And then I hope eventually we can expand and get to the other locations and also discuss even Blaze as well. But also, hopefully, the goal is to also improve customer service, improve, you know, the timing, improve some of these things, maybe getting some iPads, getting some card readers, some card swipers. Also, you may have to move on from Shandricka. I'm sorry. You just may have to move on from her if she's not willing to change. Because why mess up your money when you don't have to? If the easiest solution is to bring somebody in who's professional and nice and willing to greet the public and literally checking them in and letting them know when their table is ready. Like, it's not rocket science what Shandricka is doing. She's not running, you know, the actual business itself. She literally just has one job, to greet these people and let them know when their table's ready. Like, it's not, she's up here acting like she's got this like big time, you know, big situation happening, and it's like, no, like, you are doing way too much for a position like this. So yeah, that is all the thoughts I have for real. Let me know what you guys think of the episode. I felt like the episode really flew by. That hour flew by, and I had watched What Happens Live as well, but yeah, so let me know what you guys think of the episode. What do you guys think of the cast? Who are your favorites? Who can you do without on the show? What do you think the dynamic's going to be? Do you think that the, you know, issues that are at OLG are going to improve? Or do you think they're going to stay the same if they keep the same people? What do you guys think? Let me know. React in the comments. Please let me know what you think. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.